Welcome to Freedom Cast, where your hosts, Jordan and Miranda, show you how to get just a little bit more out of life. Are you ready to leave normal behind?
Hello, Freedom Casters, and welcome to episode 39.
39!
Pretty crazy that
We're almost at 40.
Yeah, we're almost at 40, which is very exciting. We love this podcast, and we are very happy that you listen. So today, we are going to be talking about stuff. Stuff, junk, doodads.
Things.
Thingamabobs. Who'sama-what's-it. It's hard to say.
Junk.
Junk.
Did you already say junk?
I don't think so.
I think you did. Oh.
So, we have talked about this a little bit before. I talked about being a functional minimalist. And
Back in episode 17.
Yes. And still having fun. But I am very passionate about this, and I think this is so important that
Not you.
that we're gonna talk about it again. This time we're just gonna specifically talk about stuff. Because it's pretty crazy. And we just accumulate, and we end up with a bunch of stuff that we don't even want, that we probably shouldn't have gotten in the first place, that we probably couldn't pay for. So stuff just accumulates, and you end up having just a ton of things in your home that you have no purpose for, that just take up a lot of space, and that really just clogs up your life. And I kind of want to focus today on how it doesn't even just take up and clog up physical space. Stuff really does clog up mental space as well. And that can really slow your progress in your goals and in what you want to accomplish in life as well. So, Jordan, do you have something you want to say?
And I just wanted to pipe in here real quick if Miranda lets me, because she's all about this topic. So you're going to be doing more of the talking, and that's great. But I just wanted to say that when you first, if I heard this maybe even 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago, I would have been like, you're crazy. Like, I would have think that was a little like cuckoo. Like, is stuff really take up mental space? Like, to me, that was like a little crazy. But I'm here to say, like, it's not crazy. Miranda is totally right on board with this. I am on board with it. It definitely makes sense. It takes a little bit of outside of the box thinking to really figure this out and really kind of grasp how it can affect your life. But I just wanted to note that a sane person, myself, as far as cleaning goes,
that's
recognize
debatable.
stuff. I mean, you get a lot of your stuff from Marie Kondo, and she's a little crazy.
She is.
Like, she's nuts. Really great book and really great stuff, but she's a little nuts. Like, she sings to her clothes or something?
No.
Okay.
But...
See, that's what I think of it. I think...
Okay. So...
But it's all I'm trying to say is it's good. It's funny. I'm going to make fun of it probably throughout this episode, but it's good stuff, and it really can make a big difference for you.
Yeah, and we originally started downsizing all our stuff because I think we mentioned this before. When we ended up moving 3 times for our job at the retirement home, it just became such a hassle every time to pack everything up, and stuff we wouldn't even unpack from the previous 2 moves. Like, why are we dragging this stuff around? You know, this isn't useful. So it all kind of started there, and it's been just a slow process. Most of the things that we've really accomplished and have gotten really passionate about have taken time. It hasn't been in a snap overnight. Oh yeah, like I want to be a minimalist, and then the next day like, we got rid of everything. Like most things, I think we just like to take the little action steps and go one little step at a time. So for us, it started with, just getting rid of junk because we were moving, and then my sister recommended that book, then I read the book, and then I went through that, and I'm, still really going through the process, and it's really just about going through your home and just making your home a place that you want to be in, really, is kind of the bread and butter of it. It's not about, sacrificing everything and not having enough to live off of. It's about having just enough stuff that you're comfortable, but that you're not just swimming in excess and things you don't need, because that's just, it's a lot to take care of, and it makes things harder to clean. It's, it takes up a ton of space. And like I said, it does take up mental space. And when you start And the best way to kind of prove that is to go through it. After you go through and start eliminating all that excess and all that stuff you don't need, you start realizing in your head what you value and what you find important. And I mean, this kind of goes hand in hand. The last episode we talked about just making that mission statement, a life mission statement. And if you're kind of confused as to how do I even start that, I would even suggest start by decluttering your home, because that's going to really identify what's important in your life and what's not important, because those physical possessions are an outward manifestation of what's in your heart. So it's kind of a huge deal what you buy and what you put in your home and what you allow to just have around you all day long. That's a huge thing. So if you are kind of lost as to what you want to do with your life and stuff, this is a great way to start. It seems so simple, like I'm just going to go through and declutter my home, but I know everybody has more than they need. And so you can go through today and just get one trash bag full of stuff. And, that's just going to help drill down in your mind what's important and what you value. And you get really good at it. And then soon you realize it gets easier, and you get kind of addicted to the feeling of giving stuff away and of having all that extra space in your home. And you're like, wow, this room looks great. And it stays great because there's not a lot of stuff to clutter it up. And it's awesome. So that's what it did to me. It got kind of addictive, and I just I still walk around looking for things to give away. And Jordan's like, we gave away like a lot of stuff. I don't know how you're still finding things.
I always ask her, we just recently brought another bag of stuff to Goodwill. Well, it probably wasn't that much in it, right?
It was like three
things?
3 bags.
3 bags?
Yeah.
It
was 3 bags.
I helped you. So yeah, that's still remarkable to me that you can be focused on this and you can still find stuff to give away, because you're always accumulating. Even if you're intent on it and you're like, I'm not going to get stuff, like you're still going to have to get like newer clothes. You're going to have to, give away old clothes that maybe don't fit, or like me, you just break them all for whatever reason.
Jordan is really tough on clothing.
But I could probably fit all my clothes in like a small suitcase.
Yes.
So that's one thing I've always done well, like minimalist wise. And it's not for any reason like I want to be a minimalist. It's just that I'm super cheap and I hate buying clothes. I try to get as much life as I can out of my clothes.
And I use Jordan as a role model for me, because clothing is where I really struggle with the minimalist things, because I love cute dresses, and I love just cute little blouses and flowy tops and those types of things. If I go to the store, I get that. I want that. And why do I want that? Why do I need that? Why? So I look cute? It's that questioning why. Why do you want that? Yeah. It doesn't. In the end, maybe you do like that or want that, or that would make you happy. That could spark joy, as Marie Kondo would say. Then that's great. In no place we're going to say you shouldn't get certain things or you shouldn't get a dress if you want to wear it. I just wanted to note that in there, that's been something that's impacted me. It's not about, Miranda's never been like, well, you can't get that because we don't need more stuff. It's just have that serious. Do we really need this? Yeah. Why? Ask the question why. Yeah. Why do I need another flowy, flowery top? I don't. I want it because I want that like initial surge of like endorphins of, ooh, I went shopping, I got this cute top. And so that's where I've been trying to go through my wardrobe and just really just cut it down, because it is kind of, that can almost turn into like a vanity thing for me too. Just, like I want to look cute. I want, I like your voice for yourself. I want to look cute. But like, yeah, it's like, why do I want to look cute? Like, you're already stuck with me. Like, and I think it's good to look nice. I'm not saying look like a slob by any means, but you only need so many cute, like, summery dresses. That's all I'm trying to say. Is that, you just need to find the one that fits, the one that you can wear with like a lot of your shoes, the one that's versatile. And that's really what you have to do. Just go through and take out all that extra, because all that extra is going to get in your way when you're just trying to pick out an outfit and you can't decide. Yeah. And just talking about clothes and like just in that stuff in general, like you definitely don't have to look like a bum. Like, especially for Christians, like our pastor looks like super stylish. He's like the most stylish person ever, right? Ever. That's a big statement.
He's pretty stylish, but like I'm sure he doesn't go and buy like clothes like every day. Maybe he does. I don't know. I have no idea. But like it just feels like he can be really. You can be a solid Christian and get this stuff right too. I just was thinking about that because I think it's very important for Christians to really consider this. I think if you're not a Christian and you're wondering about that stuff, that's great. Then ask those questions. But if you're listening to this and you are a Christian, then I think you need to listen even a little bit closer because at least for me, I think it's super important to be considering that we're not supposed to be storing up treasures on earth. We're supposed to be looking forward to our treasures in heaven. And I think that, I think some people hearing that can be like, oh, that sounds ridiculous, or that sounds like silly. But like, especially for Christians, it's not silly because it's such an important aspect of our lives. We don't have to have nothing, especially over here in the U.S. We are so blessed and we have so much more than we could ever need. So we don't have to have nothing. We don't have to not get those fun things. We're not going to be the person that says that. But then just have a serious discussion with your significant other, or just think about it yourself and whether you really need that or not, whether that's really important. Am I saying the right things there?
Yeah, you're great.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can't take this stuff with you. It's silly to just spend your whole life accumulating physical possessions because it's not getting you anywhere. To really make an impact on the world, you do have to change the world, change people, impact people's lives. That's how you become someone people remember. That's how you leave a legacy. You don't want to leave a legacy of, oh yeah, that crazy Aunt Miranda, she was that hoarder that had all those creepy dolls. You don't want to be that person. You want to be like, oh man, she changed a bunch of lives and that was awesome.
Yeah.
So
but then you also don't want to be the crazy Aunt Miranda that gives everything away and looks like a bum either.
Yeah, crazy Aunt Miranda always wore the same stupid dress.
Yeah. You don't want to be that either. And that's where it's important to kind of find a good middle ground of just being realistic and being real. But then really questioning yourself too and being willing to have those tough conversations and to think critically in that way. Because I think, if we admit it, we all have parts of our lives that we can improve upon. Me and Miranda readily admit that we have many areas we can improve upon. I'm still trying. I think I'm not 100% bought into the minimalist stuff, but I'm a lot closer than I ever was. And I'm never going to live in a tiny house. I'll tell you that right now.
No, we're never going to. Jordan couldn't fit in a tiny house.
Okay, let's go talk tiny house for a second. We are not about tiny houses. I just want any kind of minimalist. I used to think minimalists, they lived in tiny houses and that was it. It means so much more than that. Tiny houses. I watched a show of this house once where this guy, he had to sit down on the bed crunched in a corner in order to get dressed for the day. And he had to do all these crazy things, lay on the bed, I think, to put his pants on or something. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Those things are ridiculous to me. Those are crazy.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about. The things on those shows, we're not talking about that. That's nuts.
No. I mean, for certain people, though, if it works for you, hey, I'm not passionate. That's, good for you. I just don't think
I was bashing it a little bit, but I'll pull back.
Yeah.
I was.
Reel it in a little bit. We have a big following in the little mini house market.
That's true. Our listeners that have mini houses, I'm sorry. If you want to invite me over and let me experience it, and then I will definitely be even more sure of my opinion, most likely.
Yeah, so another really important part about this is holding on to all those things from your past and sentimental things, and those things are the hardest things to let go of, and those things are the things that take up a lot of space too. And I think it's just important to keep the stuff that is really valuable and you're actually going to look at. I come from a home where we had multiple giant Tupperware containers just full of loose photographs. The big, moving boxes full of, just not in a photo album, just full to the brim, just photos.
I don't think I knew that. That's awesome.
You're not surprised, though.
Not surprised at all, but that's awesome.
And it's what do you do with that? Sometimes we'd pull them out and we'd start looking at the top layer, but you're never going to make it to the bottom. That's thousands of pictures, and they're not labeled. You don't know who's in them. this is an extreme example, but I'm just saying, find those, like, get that one photo album that has all the photos of, you know, your great grandmother or whoever, and just, you know, have the one thing that you're actually
And
going to
burn
look
it.
at. No. No, that's not
Don't
what
do
I'm
it.
saying.
Don't do that.
But I think one of the coolest thing about the minimal lifestyle is it's about who you are now. It's not about holding on to those past things. And that's where I think it's been a huge thing for me, and, you know, making our apartment be less cluttered and getting rid of all this random stuff that I've held on to for no reason. Because it's, you know, your home should be a place of the present and a place of the future, not just it's not a museum. You're living there. This is your life. You want to be working towards what you're working on. You know, if you 5 years ago were really into making popsicle stick houses, and, you know, you loved that, and you don't want to get rid of that stuff because you're like, oh, I loved it then, but that's not who you are now, then let go of it. Work on, you know, your toothpick houses that you're into now.
Yeah, work on that instead.
I come up with the weirdest examples.
No, but
on the
toothpicks are
fly.
smaller than popsicle sticks, so more
Yeah.
towards minimalism. That's why you got that.
But that's just...
I'm tracking with you,
Okay,
Ren.
okay.
I'm tracking.
So that's just the really cool thing about it, is when you get rid of all that clutter and get rid of all that stuff that just piles up, you just get to see who are you really in this moment, and what are you really trying to achieve right now. Not who do you think you should be because, you know, you saw this ad online for this cute outfit and that's why you bought it. You know, maybe that's not your style, and just let it go. Maybe, you know, you're holding on to things that you just need to let go of because it's just stuff from your past. It's stuff that you're not that person anymore. People are always changing. So
don't let the decisions of the past affect the decisions of the future.
Exactly. You're in control right now. Right now is the important moment, and you need to make your living space conducive to what you're working towards now. And that's really what I think it's all about. It's just making that your space give yourself an easier time in achieving your goals. Give yourself shortcuts whenever you can, and decluttering your home and getting rid of all that stuff is a huge shortcut. It's just, you just look around and it's everything you want to work on right now. It's not buried beneath other things. Can you get on board with that?
I'm
Jordan?
100% on board with that, Miranda. I was just trying to think of a question for you. I think you shared like a way to give them a way for people to find a quick win. If you can just remind them of what that was. Did you share with them a quick win?
I don't think so. Not last time. But just the whole idea is just go get a trash bag.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, can you give them a practical first step?
Yeah, practical first step. Go get a trash bag. Go around your house, get...
A trash bag? No!
Yeah.
No!
Go pick just one t-shirt you don't wear anymore. Go find...
But I love it!
Okay. That is enough of that voice.
I had to do it. There's someone listening to this that's going to be like, no, I won't do that. And they'll be saying that as they're following your advice.
Yeah.
Because it's really good. It's really good advice.
Yeah, just one t-shirt. Go get one puzzle or board game that you haven't used in 20 years. Get one, magnet off of the refrigerator. One book you're never going to read. Just grab those things, put it in the trash bag. You're already started. That's like the first step. And
you're giving that away, right?
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of just bring it to Goodwill. You can really, I sold a lot of stuff on Craigslist when we moved the first time. It just takes a long time and it's a lot of effort. It's good to get a little extra cash, but for me, I like donating it. It's just more fun to just say, here's 20 bags, take it, it's yours. And then you drive away feeling 10 pounds lighter. You literally feel lighter. I mean, our little Corolla is actually lighter when we drive away, but it just feels, it's such a relief. Just go do it. Take that one bag, throw just the low-hanging fruit in your home that you want to get rid of anyway, and give it away, and you're just going to feel better. It's really a good feeling. It's scary to give stuff away because you're like, man, what if I need that? But, I mean, it's 2018. You can just walk to Walmart and, you never really can walk to Walmart. That was a bad example. You can just go drive to Walmart and get whatever you need. You're never going to be, wanting for something that badly and be stuck in a situation of, oh man, I gave away that one t-shirt 5 years ago. I have nothing to wear. What am I going to do? That's never going to happen. So just do it. It's scary, but you're going to end up loving it. It's really, it is addictive.
I think and then for people that, maybe someone in your life is doing that, like I've had to kind of, I wouldn't say deal with that. I've been blessed to be around Miranda when she's going through this whole process. And I've just been like, hey, I'm on board. Like, she never I don't think you ever found it too much of a struggle, especially clothes wise, to say, Jordan, do you want to get rid of this? Maybe at first it was like, but I might wear that. But then I was just like, I appreciate Miranda in this. I want to support her. Like, there's definitely good things to what she's trying to do. And I'm fine with living a more minimalistic lifestyle. I actually really like it. She let me keep 2 bobbleheads for my desk. But no, that's a really cool thing. And then, well, maybe that's a good like side note into that. Or
it's a really good point. If you are, if you're not living alone, it's a lot harder. And I'm lucky because you already naturally just didn't have a lot of stuff. Most of the things you like to accumulate are online, like programs or video games.
I have a lot of spreadsheets.
Things that don't take, you like to collect spreadsheets, but it doesn't take up physical space, so I can't complain about it. So, if you're in a family, just focus on your stuff first. If you have a really supportive spouse, that's fantastic. Do it together. If they're not on board, then just start with you. Go through your stuff. Don't push it. When they see you giving all this stuff away and see you start to, blossom and just feel better about everything and accomplish more, then they're gonna be like, hey, like maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, that's how it was for me. Miranda was so cool about that at first. She was never like, hey Jordan, I'm gonna grab all your clothes and then we're giving away half of them and then there's nothing you can do about it. Because obviously we shouldn't do that in a marriage anyway, but there are certain people out there that would do it that way, and that is not the way to do it. Model it first, like Miranda said. Really show that you're enjoying the process, and you will. I've seen Miranda just come through this and just grow in so many ways. It's been really cool to see you like really grow into this, and now it's become one of your passions. Like it definitely is.
Yeah,
like you are super passionate about just being, having less. And
yeah, I never would have said that a few years ago. I never would have said like, you know what? I think I'm going to become like a minimalist and, be all about like downsizing. No, that wasn't even in my head at all. But going through this process, I really am very passionate about it. And I think it's just because it has so many implications on our lives.
Yep.
And it's just like a silent thing that just builds up. And it's crazy. People have storage units and pay extra money every month just to have a place hold their stuff that they're not using. That's our culture. The culture is just, consume, and you gotta just, cut that off, take a second and say, why am I doing this? I can be using my money for experiences and for helping others, and that stuff's gonna be much more gratifying than a fidget spinner.
Yep. I think especially, big stuff, down the line. Like Miranda said, get a quick win, but then think of the big stuff you got. If you got big stuff in storage, maybe it's time to throw that stuff away or give it away. If you got furniture that's getting older or really not working for you anymore, that's something to consider too. I think big stuff, I think, is important. What do you think about big stuff? That's what I think, but like...
No, I totally agree. That gives you like an immediate... If you go in your living room and just get rid of a few pieces of furniture, your living room is going to look so much more open and better, and you're going to be amazed. Definitely big stuff. If you, can let go of it, we definitely, we only have one car. We're living, very much counterculturally. We have one car, and that car is 18 years old. And
yeah.
And we're
living it.
Yeah, that's how we're trying to live in a way where we're not consuming a ton of stuff. And, it's hard. Sometimes it comes with logistical issues, like how am I going to get here and you get there? But it kind of encourages community in a cool way because, I have to ask people like, oh, hey, like, can you give me a ride here and stuff like that? And people are, typically happy to do it. Don't push your luck with people, obviously. Yeah,
and you don't want to abuse that relationship either. But for most part, people are, especially if it's a short trip, they're happy to do it.
And if they're going there anyway, it's like, yeah, sure.
And we never would want to, take advantage of people or anything like that. And if it was becoming like a real logistical nightmare, we would find a way to get another vehicle. But it's just something we questioned. We said, hey, when we move, Like, do we really need 2 vehicles? And at first we were moving and working together. We said no. And then we moved again and we questioned it again. We said, hey, do we need another vehicle? Like, does Jordan need a vehicle? No, because I'm talking myself in the third person. Jordan, I was not working, a traditional job. I didn't have a commute. That's all I'm trying to say. I didn't have a commute, and we were thinking about the other activities we had going on. And no, I don't need a car.
Yeah.
Right now, maybe things will change if I had more meetings out, and I had to be there in person. But with technology is amazing because I can Skype with anyone. I don't need to go. For the most part, going somewhere and having a meeting can be a waste of time for a lot of people. And you can just have a quick Skype call, and a lot of times email is sometimes better than a meeting. Sometimes meetings are better. That's going crazy. Yeah. All I'm trying to say is that we were able to make it without a car. Maybe it's time for you to question what you can make it without.
Yeah, that's a great question to think about. Just look around. What do you have around you that you don't really use? We save a ton of money by not having to get car insurance on a second car, not having a car payment at all. We're really bad at the upkeep anyway with the Corolla, but it's definitely, we save a ton of money by just having the one car, and those resources we put towards other things, towards attaining our goals. And that's the whole idea. You don't need to spend all your energy and resources maintaining these things that you don't really need. Another funny... That's another very important thing. Go ahead and say what you're going to say in a bit, but that's super important, is that where your energy is going, where your time is going. I mean, we all need to value our time more than we do. I think that's key, especially, I was going to say that earlier, when you're starting to sell stuff on Craigslist. If you're trying to sell something for $20, is it really worth all the time you're going to go and taking pictures, uploading it, contacting the person? Is it really worth it? Now, maybe it's worth it for an extra $20 on the side, but maybe not. Maybe your time is more valuable than that. So definitely starting to think about your time is super important. And we could do a whole podcast episode on thinking about your time and valuing that. But I just thought about it in this case because that's another important thing to note. But go ahead, finish what you were saying. I was just going to give another example of how you do have to get creative. It's not easy sometimes when you don't have a lot of stuff. For example, Jordan and I, we only have 4 towels, and we don't have an air mattress or anything. And his family was coming to visit, and if they're listening, hello. They're our most dedicated listeners.
They are.
So
my family definitely is very supportive.
Yeah, but there were 3 people coming to visit, and we only have 4 towels. So we had to ask Jordan's sister, hey, can you bring an extra towel? And then we had to ask our life group, hey, does anyone have an air mattress? And we asked another couple from our church, do you have extra pillows? And it was a process, but it built community for sure. We communicated with people.
Yeah.
Everything worked out fine. And it just, that's what you got to do. It's a little harder sometimes, but it's definitely worth it. I would say every time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So in conclusion, just get started, take little steps. I think everyone could benefit from just going and just getting a trash bag and filling up that trash bag with just the obvious things they don't need. And even just that little progress is going to feel great. I encourage you to do that.
I encourage it as well.
And I already did a course before called Downsize, Organize, and Thrive on Udemy.
I will link to it in the show notes.
Yes. And I'm actually working now on, it might be out by the time we post this, I'm working on one which is 30 Days to Decluttered Bliss. So it's kind of a just drilling down on that downsizing portion of my first course. And
this course is going to be exciting. Miranda I'll tell you, she's putting some serious work into this, and I am so proud of her. She's putting some nice little goodies in there for you. So if you got to the end of this, maybe you have some interest in minimalism or in just getting rid of a little bit of clutter. So definitely listen in on what she's got to say.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm all about baby steps, but if you're ready to take that big leap and just dive into it because you're the type of person that needs to just go all in, like I said, Jordan and I are kind of baby step people, but
we're with everything. Sometimes I wonder how we get things done because I'm like, we never make the big leap. You know, our
Very calculated risks.
moving was like huge for us. That was a huge leap. But yeah, we're much more like slowly, you know, slow change, small leap kind of people.
Yeah, but some people need that just kick in the butt. Let's go. I'm going to do this. And that's what this one is about. Just taking 30 days to really put the time into cleaning out your house. I'm really excited about it. Like Jordan said, I have a bunch of little extras in there. I made a bunch of quotes that I put on images that you can put on your computer or wherever that will help inspire you, because I'm all about getting that whole mindset and that paradigm shift. Not just I want a cleaner house, but the why, like Jordan was saying. Why do I want to do this? Why do I have this stuff? The why is so important. So
yes,
we talk about that a lot. But so that's coming up too. So that's really exciting. Definitely take a look at that if you're interested. Jordan and I are just so happy that you're listening to this podcast. We love it, and stay toasty.
Stay toasty, friends. Have a good rest of your day.